Hello guys, another video coming out. I hope you're all doing fine. Today we want to talk about a topic. It's a deep subject actually, it's a deep topic. It's about the nature of things. It's about the nature of things. It's about entropy. Think about this. Do everything decay? And I mean, does everything get old and break, decay, erode, whatever you want to call it? Is that true for everything? For example, think about that everything, time turns everything to dust. Have you heard that? With enough time. So, that's also something about entropy, because it's a scientific principle that entropy in a system will always increase, meaning more disorder, meaning more shuffling. With time, everything gets more shuffled. For example, in the beginning, when you buy a new card deck, it's going to be ordered. It might be, but let's say you get an ordered and sorted deck of cards. 1 to 10. The knight, the queen and the king. All different colors in order. All different things in order. Let's say you start playing with these cards. The cards are going to get shuffled around. And you have to put an effort in to organize the cards again into the original order. But if you just use the cards, just play it without thinking about it, it's gonna get shuffled around. So that's entropy. That's things decaying, eroding. Even the cards themselves, with use, are going to break down. They're gonna get dry, they're gonna get faded, they're gonna get destroyed with time. All right. And we can expand this idea to the idea of life. We will all die one day, but there is a philosophical idea in our minds. For example, with the old epic of Gilgamesh, in the search of living forever, eternal life. He failed the quest. He went to Utnapishtim and he failed his quest. But he realized what is the real deal is about getting immortal. It's not living forever as an individual. And this is an interesting topic because the idea of living forever is kind of in most religions. And living forever is a thought that we all had at some point, I think. But we can't. Or can we? Because there is something that is contrary to the idea of everything decaying, eroding with time. And that is when something is born. It grows. You see, to get past or defeat death, we have to realize something, and that is that we are individuals, but we are also part of something. We are part of something. Humans, we are like part of a tree. Actually, our life is the part of a tree. The tree of life, which also is an idea that is very common in religious context. You think of a tree, it lives longer than you. And we can look at that tree and say, goddamn, I want to live like that tree lives. Why do I have to go when that tree stays? Well, we are part of the tree. We are part of a tree. And that tree is life. Because you can think of yourself like the leaf on the tree. The leaf will grow every year. Depends on the tree, of course, but think about a general tree. It will grow in the summer and spring and summer, and then it will wither, decay, and fall to the ground. Or wither and fall to the ground, then decay. But then the tree will produce another leaf the next year. And that is how the leaf is not something that's just gonna disappear. It's a thing. It's a thing that gets reproduced. It gets propagated. The idea of the leaf. And that is how we need to think about ourselves. It might not be that you, as the individual, will live forever. But if you do what's right, another you will come out of the tree of life. It's not going to look exactly like you, but is that important? What is so important about you? And that is something that we need to wrestle with, I think. I'm wrestling with that thought. I'm wrestling with the thought. Because we are as leaves on this tree. We need to provide energy to the tree. But you can say, I'm not seeing any trees around here. I'm not connected. You might not be connected, but the thing is, it doesn't matter if you're connected or not. Because you're not connected, that is why you're not realizing that you're part of the tree. The thing is, I think, why that thought might be a bit difficult. It's because the tree isn't an exact description of the tree, and the leaf, rather, you as the leaf on the tree, is not an exact description, of course, mechanically of how that leaf exists. The leaf needs to be connected to survive. Otherwise, it's not gonna survive. But you don't have to be. But the thing is that even though you're kind of a wireless thing and you can't see that connection, you can delude yourself into thinking that you as an individual is something that is separate, something that is not connected. But you are. What is the thing that makes something alive? That is a question that is not easily answered, but I think it does have a definite answer. A flame, is it living? A battery, is it alive or dead when it's empty? A virus, is it alive or dead, or is it not alive? We're talking about sometimes antibacterial disinfectants killing viruses and viruses and bacteria. Now, if you zoom in to what makes up you, it is the cell. If you just have one cell and you just look at that one cell, would you call that an animal? A biologist might say there's a difference between different kinds of cells. There's animal cells, there's plant cells and bacterial cells, also archaea cells. But the thing is, looking at just the cell itself, you might very easily just mistake it for any plant just growing unaware. But the combination and the dynamics of the many cells is creating something, a concept that is on a more abstract level. And that is the same thing with the concept of the leaf. The leaf might die and fall to the ground, but a leaf doesn't disappear. Another leaf will replace it, and the idea and the mechanics of a leaf, the existence of a leaf, it will stay. So that is how we defeat the death and the end as life forms. Now, what is life? Well, I would argue that everything that has DNA is alive. And everything that doesn't have DNA, you cannot call that living. Maybe in an abstract, more kind of, let's say we're making a connection, but we have to be able to differentiate between a rock, an animal, a plant, and water. There is a difference, and I think it's disingenuous to not see that difference. We need the DNA. It's the DNA that is creating life. That is the life. Now, every living thing has DNA, and as long as we keep DNA, that is going to be us continuing to live. I think that is a very profound thing. Now, you can tell me what you think about that in the comments. I need to go. I'm just on my short little break here, and I gotta go back to work. Man, they can't do anything over there. We'll see you in the next video. Have a nice day.